What's up, everyone? Long time no see. You know, it's been a minute, we'll chat. But I'm so happy that I'm back making tutorials, starting with this one. This was a look that was just in my head. It's very simple, it's nothing like new, but just something that I don't normally do, but I think it really makes such a dramatic impact on the eyes. Anyway, I hope you guys are excited. Finally a tutorial. Let's hop right into it. All right, let's start with a base. I'm gonna go in with a combination of foundation and like a glow liquid. So this is already a pretty glowy foundation. This is the Forever Skin Glow from Dior. And I'm mixing it with their Face and Body Glow, which is the #1. And with my Smashbox brush, I'm just gonna start buffing this in my skin. So that glow liquid is, one, it's gonna make it a little bit more glowy, but two, it's gonna thin out the foundation a little bit. It's not a heavy foundation at all, but it's just gonna make the wear that much more kind of sheer. Next up, moving on to concealer. Concealer, I'm going pretty heavy with this. It's like a good, really good coverage formula. This is by Dose of Colors. It's their Meet Your Hue concealer. I'm using the number 16, which is medium tan. Just gonna apply that right under my eyes. And then using this buffing brush by Hank & Henry, I'm just gonna go in and blend this all out. I've been getting a little bit of darkness right here at the outer corners of my eyes. So I really wanna focus a lot of that concealer right there, but it really just makes everything in the center of your face just look super flawless. So moving on to contour. This has kind of been my favorite contour product for a while now. This is the contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. You have to switch it onto the on position so it doesn't leak out. And it has a nice sponge tip that you can just apply directly to your face. I'm just gonna add a little bit here, jawline. Not too much because it really, a little bit goes a really long way with this stuff. The color that I'm using is the Fair Medium. I'm just gonna use another brush to blend this out. So when you're blending out a contour, try to like stipple it and push it upward and inward, not down, because you don't wanna get that contour color anywhere near this area. This is so far the most blendable contour product I've ever used. Super lightweight, very, very blendable. And then if you ever needed to, you could go back to your foundation brush and use that to sort of blend out any edges that need more blending. So now moving on to a little bit of highlight and blush. I'm gonna use this palette. It's stunning. Every color is glowy. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. So I'm gonna start with the blush here. Like I said, really glowy blush color. It's a very subtle pink on the cheeks, but the glow is not subtle. Now with the same brush, I use the same brush for a lot of stuff. Never makes a difference in my opinion. I'm gonna mix these two for my highlight. So for the highlight, I'm just gonna add this. Right to the high points of my cheeks, a little bit into my brow bone. That's like the perfect highlight. And if your complexion is a little bit deeper, this shade is gorgeous too. Or you can mix the two. That's what I really like about this palette is you can mix any of the colors together. And then using the setting powder from coverfx, the Perfect Setting Powder, I'm actually gonna use a sponge to apply this. I know we don't do this often, but it does give a really kind of perfect airbrushed finish. But I only really add it to my under eyes. I don't put it anywhere else. So that's it for the face. Really quick and easy. I want to move on to the eyes because that is like the standout piece of this look. So for the eyes, I'm gonna use this Dior palette. This is not a sponsored video. I know I'm using a lot of Dior, but I've just been using those products a lot lately. But this one is pretty new to me. This is the last product that I got from them, and I never opened it until this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. This is exactly what I need for a look like this. So what I like about this product is you have a primer up here, and this white sort of balm is like a liner activator, so you can mix this with any of the colors and make the shadow a liner. So I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna use that, but I thought it was really a nice thing to add into the palette. What I'm gonna start with is the primer, which I'm just gonna apply with my finger. I think that's the best way to apply it. I'm not sure how this dries down. It's the first time I'm using it, but I think in any case, I'm going to powder it down just so it gives me a nice matte finish. This is the kind of look that I want like a really clean, light lid for, because I want that black, that smoke to stand out. As much as I can do with my finger, I will. It's just like your most handy tool. You can blend with it, you can apply with it. So like I said, I'm gonna take that perfect setting powder and just with like a blending brush, I'm just going to set this primer. I do want to start with an actual liner. I'm going to take the Bobbi Brown eyeliner cream, and I'm using this brush by Hank & Henry. I like it because it's really skinny, but like flat and wide. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put it on the back of my hand. I'm gonna start right at my lash line and kind of just press this in. So again, the lash line, I want this to be super black and sharp. And then just start to like develop a wing. The wing right now doesn't matter because we're gonna smoke it out. We're gonna layer over it with a lot of other colors. So if it's not perfect right now, don't worry about it. Just kind of map out a general shape. I forgot how uncomfortable this seat is. I need a new chair in this room. It makes my back hurt so much. So again, just starting at the lash line, pressing this in. Getting into the inner corner. All right, so from this point forward, we're gonna go into the eyeshadow palette and really start working on like smoking this out. My goal, because every time I sit down and wanna do a really dramatic look, it ends up being way more tame than I intended it to be. So I'm gonna try to really go for it today. So what I wanna start with actually is like a little brown tone just to be able to build the black over. So let's start with this one actually, and then we'll go into that one. So with this, I'm just going to start building it around the liner. Not too high because again, I want to keep the lid pretty light, but just enough that I can blend it up. So as you start building the smokiness, like I said, keep the lid as light as possible. It's gonna have a little smoke at the lash line, but as you add the colors, take that blending brush again and start blending the like smoky parts, just so you have a nice ombre going up. So let's go into this color here, a little bit deeper. So this, I'm gonna start pressing into the outer corner and less so in the inner part. So the inner part, I'm going to, or maybe not, that looks really pretty. It's a really nice brown. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it. Ooh, this is a really nice color. And then I'm just gonna use that last brush to blend, and then the blending brush to kind of tame it a little bit. So again, pressing this color in all the way across. So this is just gonna be a game of one brush in, one brush out, and then blend. So for the black, I'm gonna use this tiny guy, this little smudge brush. I'm gonna go into this matte black right here. What you can always do too is mix the brown and black if you want to ease your way into it. So with this, I'm gonna start right at the lash line first. Darken that back up. And then really start working on getting this wing to come to life. So again, a little more black. Just until you're satisfied with it. Everyone's got a different threshold for how much of this darkness they want. That's why I really suggest starting small and building rather than just like going for it really hard. So I kind of want to try this balm, this shadow to liner balm. So I'm gonna dip into that and then into the black. See if it intensifies this black anymore. You like how I'm experimenting in a tutorial? Okay, I don't go too far with it and ruin what I've done. But it does seem to intensify the black. We look pretty even. I'm just gonna fix up that wing with a little bit of concealer. I don't wanna mess with it too much, so I think I'm just gonna stop right here and move on. So why don't we start with a little bit of primer. I'm gonna use a brush for this one. And apply this just to my bottom lash line. I think what I'm going to start with is probably this color, same sequence. Do this, this, and then the black. And I'm keeping most of the darkness and smoke. You see how I'm just kind of, at the end, kind of just tapering it out really, really close to the lash line. I'm keeping most of the darkness here in the front because that'll pull down the eye at the inner corner, and all this wing is going to lift up the eye at the outer corner, giving you that cat look. So again, go pretty hard here. And then once you get to the outer corner, just kind of keep it super close to the lash line. Don't ever, no matter what your eye shape is, don't put a ton of darkness out the outer corner here because it's gonna just drag down your eye. The next step, I'm gonna take the brown in the palette and just, like I said, step by step, just darkening it up. Now for the black, I'm a little nervous to use the smudge brush because it is bigger than I want. So I'm actually gonna use the liner brush to dip into that black shadow and get this as close to the lash line as possible, especially out here. So there's a really pretty gold in here that I think I want to add like a dot at the bottom lash line. If it doesn't look good, I can always just cover it with more darkness. Let's try it. Adds a little sparkle to the bottom lash line. Why not? So going back with the liner, I really want to, like I said, make the whole lash line super dark. So I'm going to grab more of that cream eyeliner. And with this, we're going to go right into the bottom lash line and pop that in. All right, now on to lashes. So I'm gonna start with mascara. I'm using the Faux mascara from YSL, one of my favorites. Actually, using this mascara, you definitely don't need false lashes because it does such a good job, but I really want mega lash impact for this look. So the lashes I have with me are the Demi Wispies by Ardell. It's like the only lashes I ever use, but I really like them. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cut the strip, I think in half. Yeah, let's do half. I was thinking about doing 3 parts, but I really like this look to be light on the lashes in the inner corner and heavier on the outer corner. So let's see how this looks. Just lay it down there. It's hard when your lashes are curly already. It's harder to put on mascara or false lashes. I think that looks good. So as usual, I'm just gonna grab a little dot, and again, not adding very much at all. The less you add, the better it's gonna adhere. And then you can always keep the other little pieces for, I don't know, you can cut them up into individuals. You don't have to throw them out. See? Save them. All right, let's see if this one will cooperate. Please don't get on my lid. This has been quite an involved look, but it's worth it. I think it's so pretty. I think I'm gonna wear it to one of my events next week. All right, I think we're ready to move on. We're done with the eyes. I'm gonna add a little bit of something to my brows. If I can find my brow pencil. Did I really forget my brow pencil? Whatever, you guys have seen me do this a million times. I'm just gonna take that liner. Let's improvise, why not? Why not? Let's just take a little bit of this balm. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we'll see. I don't need to do too much, which is why I'm okay with doing this. This is so bad, I'm so lazy. I knew I was gonna screw up something on my first time back. So you gotta MacGyver your way through things sometimes. All right, finally for the lips. So I wanna keep the lips pretty neutral. I'm gonna use this from Dose of Colors. They just came out with a new set of a matte, a gloss, and a brand new sort of velvet mousse formula of the color Truffle. So I'm gonna use the liner pencil. So now going in with the velvet mousse. Ooh. So that's it for this look. I think it turned out pretty dramatic, kind of exactly how I wanted it. I hope you guys enjoyed my first video back. There's gonna be more, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.